run. My journey officially started in Douala and lasted approximately 1 hour 30 minutes to get to the bus station in Buea called Mile 17, where at first glance you could see this massive jaw-dropping mountain from a distance. I spent the night at a friend's place and started the hike the next day in the morning because I needed some rest to regain some much needed energy for the trip. The next morning, I took a taxi to a place called Governor's Office, where the 50th anniversary monument that commemorates Cameroon's 50 years independence and reunification is found. The place was so beautiful and colorful with cultural artifacts that I spent about 5 minutes there enjoying the view. The hike officially started at 9:42 a.m. and just 5 minutes into the ascent, you could get this wonderful aerial view of the whole town of Buea. Just some few meters away from there, we got to a point called Upper Farms and there was a little prison located there. From there on, we got to the forest, like deep rainforest, where you could see these massive trees, and we kept going up and up. You could get these animal sounds and it was kind of weird because I was alone. About an hour into the hike, I got to a point with a huge portal-like structure which officially marked the main entrance to the Mount Cameroon National Park, accompanied with a couple of signboards indicating time intervals and distances to the mountain height from Hut 1 all the way to the summit. Not far from here, I found a freshwater spring well constructed for hikers and forestry guards to carry potable drinking water, because there's no other place to get it till we get to Hut 2. It took approximately 15 minutes from the freshwater spring to get to Hut 1, the first refuge point. This is also the place where forestry guards are stationed and patrol from here. It took me approximately 2 hours to leave from the point of departure to Hut 1 and I still had a very long way to go. I had a little chat with the female forestry guard I found on duty and presented myself and entry permits before continuing my journey. She was very nice and everything went on smoothly. A few moments later, I continued my journey through the thick forest and finally got to a point called Savanah, where the forest officially ends. So guys, as you can see, we officially reached Savanah and the forest ends here. So you can see around me, see the forest below. The forest ends there. From now on, it's up, up, up. With the go, not go. Temperatures around this area decrease rapidly and the winds here are very impressive. Oh, so right now I'm taking a breather. You can see that's the intermediary hut just behind me, and on this solo ride, only motivated yourself. You got to motivate yourself, bro. Not far from here is the intermediary hut. Unlike Hut 1, no guards are stationed here and you begin to get the impression of being above the clouds. It is at this point I realize how impressive and how high Mount Cameroon actually is. I took a little break here and had some snacks and drinks before climbing the massive hill separating me from Hut 2 where I'll spend the night. So guys, this is 30 minutes past 2 and now I'm going to be heading to Hut 2. So I'll be leaving the intermediary hut now and hopefully get to Hut 2 maybe in an hour or 1 hour 30 minutes time or 2 hours time. It just depends. So catch you guys in a little bit. But something in the way she moves keeps pulling at my chain. Oh, traveler, you carry the sun in your stride, leaving behind what I hold inside. If I don't ask your name today, I may never get the chance to walk beside your wandering dance. After resting for about 15 minutes, it took me about 1 hour to leave from the intermediary herd to Hut 2. Hut 2 has a beautiful mountain lounge, a restaurant, and paid cabins for hikers who want to spend the night among the stars. I met Mr. Peter, the guy responsible for checking in hikers, and he walked me through the different cabin options. I finally booked a cabin for 2 because I didn't find any 1-bed cabin and I wanted some quiet time all to myself to rest and plan for my next day. That's why I didn't choose the cheaper options with multiple beds in one room. I settled in, unpacked my bags, ate and headed straight to enjoy the impressive mountain view available only to the brave. And later that evening, I met other hikers who had made a campfire and cooked some rice in the kitchen outside the lounge. The ambience was beautiful, and the night sky view of the faraway town of Buea and neighboring country Malabo was quite beautiful. The temperature up here is very low and almost freezing. I headed back to my cabin to rest and prepare for the next day, and even the sheets and blankets were cold. Guys, we're all set. It's almost 6 o'clock and I'll be leaving soon for Hot 3 after Hot 3 summit. So stay tuned, I'll keep you guys posted. But first I need to go get some drinking water because my water has been exhausted. So guys, we've been hiking for an hour now, maybe an hour 10 minutes, and we still have a long way to go. I'm beginning to feel a little bit tired, but we'll keep pushing. We're still gonna go. At this point, I was way up above the clouds where the air got thinner and thinner. I was very exhausted and I felt like the trip was actually a bad idea, but my goal was to reach the summit, and giving up wasn't an option after I had come this far. After ascending for about 3 hours, I finally got to Hut 3, the third refuge, and same as the intermediary hut, it was just a vacant shelter for the extreme conditions up here. I took a little tour of the place and took a break for about an hour. The clouds move very rapidly here and temperatures aren't friendly at all. At some point, I noticed a group of hikers coming back from the summit. They were the same guys I spent time with at the campfire last night at Hut 2. We had a little chat and they provided me with some key information about how far the summit was from this point and the weather conditions over there. So guys, now I'll be heading to the summit. It's 11:46, 47, and the summit is behind Hut 3. That's the road there. So see you guys at the summit. The terrain at the beginning of the ascent to the summit was full of volcanic rock deposits from previous eruptions which had been deposited here. It's pretty cold right now. It's been about 30 minutes. I left Hut 3. The journey so far to the summit was quite impressive and out of this world, with these massive craters and hills, steep valleys, volcanic terrain and rapidly moving clouds. The silence up here is crazy and scary since I was alone. It felt like I was the only living creature on earth at this point. At this point, the summit was already in sight and I felt my adrenaline levels rise astronomically due to the feeling of excitement and accomplishment. I had just proven to myself that with determination, resilience and consistency, the human body and mind could achieve the unthinkable. I was finally at the summit of Mount Cameroon, 4,090 meters above sea level and the highest point in the whole of Central and West Africa. I spent about 5 minutes there observing the wonders of nature and realizing how blessed we Cameroonians are. The descent to Hut 3 was fast and short-lived because of the easy terrain. As you can see, we're back at Hut 3. We've taken approximately 25 minutes to get back from the summit to here. The descent was fast, it was very fast. So here we'll be heading back to Hut 2 and then hopefully back to base, back to civilization. See you guys shortly. We gonna go. It took me about 1 hour 30 minutes to get back to Hut 2. I was very exhausted to the point where I went directly to bed for a couple of hours before waking up to have supper and pack up my stuff to leave the next morning. Good morning, guys. Just woke up. Now it's about 6:30. We'll be leaving by 7 o'clock. We'll be making a descent back to civilization, back to our point of departure. So see you guys shortly. We gonna go. On my way down, I met a couple of hikers at the intermediary hut ascending to Hut 2 while I descended back to civilization. The experience was a wonderful one, but it was time to head back home. Home sweet home.